Thank you. My name is Laura Buxenbaum, and I am the Assistant Director of Food and Nutrition Outreach for the Dairy Alliance. We are so proud to partner and to sponsor again with North Carolina No Kid Hungry. This truly is, and I say it every year, but it's my favorite conference I attend every year, and I attend a lot of conferences. But this one is motivational, inspirational. I see old friends and make new friends, and really just leave here feeling like we can all conquer the world together and help eliminate childhood hunger across North Carolina. I'm really excited to introduce our next two speakers in our next session. This is sort of a different topic for North Carolina Child Hunger Leaders Conference, but as a registered dietitian, I know that whether running around the playground or competing in a sport at its highest level, that every kid needs proper nutrition as fuel. And so today we're going to learn from two of the best. I am happy to introduce Kelsee Gomes, who is the Director of Sports Nutrition here at the University of North Carolina, go Tar Heels, and Roscoe Johnson, who is the wide receiver for the UNC Football team. They are going to tell a little bit about their story, what they do to help fuel the Tar Heels.
Fueling is a huge part of what I do. I've been here this is going on my 5th season here at UNC, so I'm so excited to be presenting to you on something that's near and dear to my heart. So kind of going through, as you can see, like how much we eat, like how you eat is just important as what you eat. And so looking at some of these, nutrition is a big priority for us. So obviously with practices being so long, like going into those practices, my job is to make sure and to ensure our athletes are fully fueled. So as an athlete, you're always training for something, and even at the high school level, a lot of these kids are coming to us and they're multi-sport athletes. So they may not only be doing football, but they're probably doing basketball, track, and so they're always training for something year-round. So again, like there's really never an off season for them. And again, they're still growing too. So a lot of guys, when they get to me, like they're still 18 years old, they may not have reached their full height, their full weight, they're still growing at this point. And so I need to make sure that, again, like that because they're going to feel better on the field, that they're more inclined to eat healthy or kind of change their nutrition habits. And they all kind of come at different levels. To me, there may be some guys that are like, nope, I'm only going to eat mac and cheese, pizza, and chicken tenders. And so my job is, again, to kind of introduce them to some new things. So again, these are just kind of some pictures. So this is Mitch, like at our training table, and then also the baseball team before they went to Omaha last year. Next one. So what should athletes eat? This is a question that I get all the time whenever our kids get here. So I meet one-on-one with each of our athletes when they get here, so I'm able to kind of go through what's worked for them in high school. And that's what I'm kind of looking at and how I can tweak that or how we can build on that. Because again, every athlete is going to be so different. But these are kind of the main components of what a plate should look like. And also when you're planning your breakfast for the school lunches or for the school breakfast or school lunches, making sure you have a component of all these. So we call it our purposeful plate. And so training table, the cafeteria that you guys saw in that video, is kind of my learning lab. Like this is where I'm able to go through the line with guys, teach them how to build performance plates based on goals, and I can manipulate this based on if they're a weight gain or a weight loss athlete. So every plate should have 3 steps to it. So a step 1 being a fruit and vegetable. So this is kind of your antioxidant, making sure you have colors on your plate. I always try to encourage 3 colors. And then a step 2 is going to be your carbohydrate source, so your main energy source. This is your body's preferred source of energy. So when you're running, when you're lifting, when you're doing any type of working out, this is what you primarily want. So it should make up about 60% of your plate. And then your step 3 being your lean protein. So usually like a good thing that I kind of tell guys, like less legs is best. So fish, no legs, chicken and turkeys, 2 legs, cows and pigs, 4 legs, like looking at kind of the leaner option, saturated fat. It's usually just an easy like soundbite to kind of go to. And then anytime I can talk about carbohydrates, I usually say brown, closer to the ground. So looking at some of those whole grain options. So easy like sound bites, and then eating the rainbow, and then of course like trying to incorporate at least 3 servings of dairy in your diet as well. And so that's kind of a component of that. But again, it's something that we can kind of tweak. Like when I'm going through the line with it, I call it live plate coaching. So I kind of see myself as a coach too, as I'm going through with them, kind of helping them build their plate, making sure they have enough protein, making sure they have enough carbohydrates, and also making sure that there's 3 colors on there. What is sports nutrition? So these are kind of the main principles. So it's the practical science of hydrating and fueling before, during, and after exercise. So really the three components of sports nutrition are providing fuel for your muscles. So, having a snack or a meal before you go into a game or a practice, providing optimal recovery after exercise, and then also staying hydrated. So this is kind of our snacks that we do during halftime and also before the game. That's my staff and I kind of in our locker room, like right before. That you can see there's kind of a wide variety of carbohydrates on there. We do have PB&Js that aren't on there. We go through a lot of PB&Js with our guys. Next. So fuel is fuel. So like I said, carbohydrates are the primary energy source, like during workouts. So these are our snack carts that we have up in our training table. So our first one, these are fully stocked, but usually we have one that's dedicated to electrolytes, one that's dedicated to carbohydrates, one that's dedicated to protein options. But some easy things that you can do for your kids or for athletes, because I know there's a lot of high schools that have started to implement easy portable snack options. So energy bars are a really easy thing. PB&Js are a really cheap option. Greek yogurt and granola. And a snack is kind of supposed to be comprised of two components. So a protein and a carbohydrate. So looking at Greek yogurt plus granola, or a cheese stick and apples, or trail mix and also a type of fruit. So easy to kind of do right before, because topping off those energy stores can help promote performance, it can help delay fatigue, and it can help prevent injury. Because if a kid or an athlete is going into a practice underfueled, they're going to become really tired during activity, and especially when their practices are 2 hours, and if it's been since noon or 1 o'clock since they've had something to eat. So really having those after school options, even bagels and peanut butter, anything like that can be really easy to do. So again, these are just so this is a picture of our training table with our line. This is again, just like easy strategies to help athletes maintain their fuel tanks. So really promoting that your athletes eat breakfast every single morning. So something that, and it doesn't have to be really big. I think people think that breakfast has to be this elaborate meal of bacon, eggs, toast, everything, even if it's something small, because some athletes are I've never been breakfast eater. So if I can just start with something small in the morning, so even if it's liquid calories, if it's a smoothie that they can do, or I can make them first thing in the morning to kind of jumpstart their day, get them going to class. And again, just kind of making sure that they're meeting their protein needs for the day. You want to make sure that you have protein with every single meal. And usually for athletes, it's about 1 gram per pound per day. So if I have a 250-pound athlete that needs 250 grams of protein a day, their breakfast should be about 50 grams of protein that we're looking at. So again, every athlete's going to be very different, but I really want to make sure that they're getting something easy in. So these are also some other easy options, even cereal and milk. That's a great two-step, easy option that you can do between, a good carbohydrate, good whole grain cereal plus milk. And then even a nutrition bar with maybe at least 10 grams of protein, yogurt and granola, a smoothie with fruit. So usually about 3 to 4 hours is where you want to have a meal, but you don't want to go more than 3 to 4 hours without eating something. So snacks are kind of meant to be that bridge in between meals. So these, I just kind of put together some fueling fast facts for us too, just so you can kind of see per week. So we go through about 350 PB&J sandwiches per week, about 1,600 eggs a week. We do feed the guys breakfast, lunch, and dinner at our dining facility. About 85 gallons of milk each week. About 760 pounds of fruit between the smoothies that we're doing and everything on a daily basis. And then about 90 pounds of cereal. You guys really like cereal. That's, again, a really easy option in the morning. Chicken is a big thing that we go through a ton of, about 400 pounds of chicken a week, and about 200 pounds of wings, when we do our wing night, and especially if it's an action station where we're easy to, we'll have our chefs kind of bring in a bunch of wings and about 6 different sauces and toss them for it. So it's another really easy thing that they can do to get some protein in. So why do I need to recover? So everybody's probably heard that you want to recover within this 30 to 60 minute window to kind of maximize protein. Your body's in this muscle breakdown state after a workout. We want to shift it to a muscle buildup state. So this is where you're going to kind of get the more bang for your buck. So really easy optimal protein snacks. You want to make sure that you have, again, a combination of carbohydrates and protein. Carbs to replenish and to refuel what you've utilized during a workout, and protein to kind of maximize that muscle building strategy. So smoothie, this is a really easy easy thing like that you can do with protein, you can do with Greek yogurt. We sometimes throw protein powder, or for some additional omega-3s, we'll throw in flax, like wheat germ. Chocolate milk, really easy, cheap option that you're able to do for athletes. I think right now we get our milk that's like 27 cents for an 8-ounce container. So it's a really easy thing that we can promote or take home, tell our guys to take home cases with. A bowl of cereal is even a really good thing. So again, you get the milk and the cereal together. Trail mix is another really easy option. A PB&J, yogurt and granola, cottage cheese and fruit. So again, kind of thinking among those two-step snacks or right afterwards. And then hydration. So one thing that we do with our guys, we will test hydration status for them, like using urine-specific gravity. So we'll be able to kind of tell them where they are in a hydration perspective. The main electrolyte that you're losing in sweat is sodium. And so this is something that we also want to make sure that our guys are replenishing going into a workout, because sodium helps you hold on to fluid. And so this is something like with, if you're not replacing your fluid and sodium during exercise, this is where you can become dehydrated. So that's my job, to kind of prevent that, to make sure that I know how much our guys are drinking. Like usually on our pregame meal setups, we have a Gatorade and a water at every single station and or at every single place setting, and we're telling the guys to make sure that they're constantly hydrating. Usually our guys, a minimum that they want to drink per day is about a gallon, so 128 ounces is a minimum that our guys should be drinking daily. Just because the single largest contributor to fatigue during exercise is dehydration, this is where we start to see performance declines in terms of guys falling out, heat stroke, or an increased risk of injury. And it also impairs concentration. So you see performance declines with this, decreases mental sharpness, and just decreases performance overall in terms of speed, strength, and stamina. So really some of these take-home messages would be the importance of nutrition and athletic performance just in general. So for any type of athlete that is working out, that eating 3 meals, 3 snacks per day, eating every 3 to 4 hours, the importance of recovery nutrition, so trying to get something to them within 30 to 60 minutes after a workout or a practice, and the importance of hydration. So again, kind of aiming for about half an ounce to an ounce per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, 100 ounces would be your minimum, 200 ounces would be your max. So it's very different. It's not just 8 cups a day that you want to drink. We try to generalize it and make it very sport specific to our athletes. Building performance plates with all 3 components of that meal. So your step 1, a fruit and vegetable, a step 2, your carbohydrate, and a step 3, your protein and healthy fats. And then I kind of didn't touch on this, but I try never to introduce a new food on game day. So that's what practice is for, is to make sure that you know what works for you. So that's a big thing that I stress to our guys, that we're going to practice for our game time, so that we know what works for you, that you can rely on me to have whatever you need in your locker before a game. So again, you can have a great performance during that game. And then, any questions? And Roscoe. And then you are Roscoe. Okay, and then I'm going to introduce Roscoe Johnson. So he is one of our star wide receivers, going into his 3rd year here. This is his junior year this year. And I'm going to let him come tell you a little bit about his story.
Good afternoon. I know I got the wrong color jacket on, but it'll be okay. But before I got to UNC, I was probably 165 pounds. I didn't really eat a lot. I ate a lot of meat. And once Kelsee got her hands on me, it took me about a year to get used to the food, but I started to eat more. All I ate when I was in high school was just meat. I told her all I ate is chicken or pizza or hamburgers. And I was wondering why I never gained no weight. So when I got to college, she was like, you got to eat your vegetables, you got to eat fruit. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just stick to what I know. So I would lift weights, I would practice. I was like, damn, my body hurt. I was wondering why I never got any bigger, or I was always hurt or something. So one day I just went up to her, I was like, we got to do something different. So eat vegetables. I was like, nah, I don't like green beans, I don't like broccoli. So she was like, okay, let's try spinach. I was like, no, I don't like spinach either. So one day she was like, I'm going to put it in a smoothie for you. I said, okay. So she made the smoothie. Then I was like, ooh, it's nasty. Too many greens in it, too many greens. So she was like, add fruit. So I went to our fruit station, got a lot of fruit. I got mango, pineapples, just a lot of fruit. And we mixed them together, and we came up with the Roscoe Special. So now the whole team like it. So now I'm about 200 pounds. Thank you for having me.